Hello everyone, I'm Michael, and today, I'm going to tell you a story. What food do people mistakenly consider healthy? Story 1. I started a job, which had like 3 cases of Powerade left over that was expired and couldn't be given out. So, I started drinking them. Doctor thought I was pre-diabetic because my blood sugar fasting levels were higher than what a 27-year-old male should be. Story 2. I used Gatorade to stop drinking alcohol. First 2 weeks the sugar cravings were ridiculous. I didn't realize how much sugar I was really putting my body. BC it just tasted like wine. Sugar cravings started to subside and the Gatorade was so sweet, so I started cutting it with water. Eventually the sugar craving subsided and I landed on plain seltzer water, which is mostly all I drink these days. Story 3. I read about a case where a guy was told to eat more fish because of his heart health. But he only put on weight and his cholesterol, blood pressure and whatnot only got worse and worse. So the doctor asked a bit more carefully about his diet and the guy admitted to eating a lot of cream fish soups, like chowder. So he was adding a little bit of seafood and a huge amount of cream to his diet. Story 4. Sweetened iced tea is such a weird anomaly to me. I grew up in what could be considered the South, Lexington Key, but my dad was type 1 diabetic and my mother hates sweet tea from her time being a camp counselor, where kids would load the tea with as much sugar as would fit. As a result, we would have iced tea every night at dinner when I was growing up, but there would never be any sweetener in it. Everyone in my whole extended family drinks their coffee black too, so maybe we're just anti-sugar weirdos. Story 5. Gluten-free alternatives and gluten-free diet in general. Obviously healthier if you have select gluten intolerance as I do. Might also be healthier if you just cut gluten products out of your existing diet without adding replacements. Essentially just becomes a low-carb diet. But it's amazing the number of people who think just switching all the junk in their diet to versions made with rice flour is going to magically make it way healthier. Story 6. Fruit juice overeating the fruit. You are getting rid of a lot of the fruit's nutritional value, and with a lot of store-bought juice, they are adding sugar and other junk. Story 7. Breakfast cereal. Grew up with the idea of it being part of a nutritious breakfast. It's all lies. They might as well be donuts. Much like donuts, doesn't prevent me from loving the stuff. Story 8. Completely excluding natural fats, sugars, etc. from their diets. You want a balanced diet, and excluding these often lead to eating more processed foods or a lack of protein or vitamins. Story 9. 1,200-calorie salads from Chili's and other chains. Just get a burger. Added, I also enjoy salads and will sometimes order them for reasons other than them being healthy. I'm mainly referring to situations where people deprive themselves of what they really want because they feel like they should be eating a salad instead. Eat what makes you happy. Just be cognizant of the whole picture. Story 10. Food that is healthy is such a broad definition. It can mean good source of vitamins, calorie sparse, low GI or any combination of those. So it really depends on the person's goals. Want to lose weight? You need calorie deficit. Want to feel satiated? Have more protein, calorie-sparse foods. Want better bones, hair, skin, etc.? Certain vitamins are for that. Have anemia? Iron and minerals are for that. Want more energy throughout the day? Cut on simple carbs and have low GI. Story 11. I legit gave myself edema from drinking a bunch of Gatorade regularly. It wasn't as caloric because it was the low or no sugar varieties, without enough physical activity or other method to sweat the electrolytes out or enough water to flush them out. It was crazy when my doctor asked about my beverage consumption habits, and that's the diagnosis I walked out with. A treatment of diuretic and avoiding the sports drinks unless I've been sweating a lot or at least sparingly in my hands, arms, and feet returned to their normal size. Story 12. This was my aunt growing up. She would make these cakes and other desserts with like no sugar in them. They tasted like garbage and nobody wanted to eat them. Just make the normal version, and if you're trying to be healthy, have a little less and don't have it every day. It's not complicated. Story 13. The amount of food in one serving is really small compared to what most people will eat in a sitting though. So you can easily eat all that food and manage just fine. Works the same way as most people think when they hear 6-course dinner, which is not 6 huge plates heaped with huge amounts of dinner foods, but 6 separate small plates with tiny amounts of food on. served at lengthy intervals. You can eat a real 6-course meal and still be hungry. Story 14. My family are mostly celiac, and I'm borderline. Even after shoving a camera down my throat, it was still inconclusive somehow, and blood tests came up as somewhere between celiac and regular. And the difference between availability when I was a kid and my mom used to have to take rice cakes and gluten-free rolls everywhere with her end now was astounding. But as you say, on the flip side, people are more flippant about it. She was given a regular biscuit at a wedding and told it was gluten-free, then spent the rest of the evening violently throwing up in the portalo outside in the cold. Her reaction didn't used to be quite so severe, but after years of being careful to avoid it, any tolerance she'd built up is well and truly gone. Honestly, that's one of the main reasons I haven't switched even though I probably should. Story 15. Fruit juice. Overeating the fruit. You are getting rid of a lot of the fruit's nutritional value, and with a lot of store-bought juice, they are adding sugar and other junk. But it's less about the nutritional value and more about the fiber. When you eat the whole fruit, the fiber helps your body slowly absorb the sugar. Removing the fiber and drinking the juice is about the same as drinking a cup of simple syrup. This is why juicers are horrible, but blending whole fruits is good. Story 16. I think people more often fall for the thinking this is healthy better option, so I can eat it as much as I like. Example, weight loss and good fats. People forget that plant-based oil and fat is still fat and still high in calories. Also, most often, if not liquid, it's highly processed and even worse than animal fat. Story 17. Red wine and alcoholic kombucha. Those same heart-healthy benefits can be found in a serving of red grapes without your liver having to prepare for battle, and it doesn't count if you're drinking 4 servings of wine in one setting. Same with alcoholic kombucha. You can't get any nutrients or benefits when your body is prioritizing processing alcohol. Story 18. I grew up thinking all soup was healthy. I guess because there were usually vegetables inside. I didn't question that thought until later in life when I went to a real ramen restaurant and they asked how much lard I wanted in my broth. My face that day. Story 19. What bothers me with the health advocates is that nothing is good enough. Ate an apple. Was it red? Green apples are lower in sugar. Had a salad for lunch, substituting your favorite dressing with vinegar and oil? It's better for you with no dressing, and olive oil isn't authentic here. Who knows what you're getting? Learn to eat it dry, but stay away from the salt. Don't oil fry your chicken breast, boil it. Don't eat bread. Too many calories. Ketchup has too much sugar. Mayonnaise has too much fat. How can I convince you to be as thoroughly miserable and sick of living as I am? I haven't enjoyed food for 30 years. Come follow me. Story 19. What bothers me with the health advocates is that nothing is good enough. Ate an apple. Was it red? Green apples are lower in sugar. Had a salad for lunch, substituting your favorite dressing with vinegar and oil? It's better for you with no dressing, and olive oil isn't authentic here. Who knows what you're getting? Learn to eat it dry, but stay away from the salt. Don't oil fry your chicken breast, boil it. Don't eat bread. Too many calories. Ketchup has too much sugar. Mayonnaise has too much fat. How can I convince you to be as thoroughly miserable and sick of living as I am? I haven't enjoyed food for 30 years. Come follow me. Story 20. Loved eating frozen yogurt in Europe, but I had to give it up completely since I moved to North America. For some reason, you can't just get plain fro anywhere in the US or Canada. It always contains sugar, right inside the yogurt. Even the one they call tart is full of sugar. I don't get it. Aren't all these toppings and syrups they put on top already sweet enough? I love to eat some decent quality froyo with just some granola and fresh berries on top. Story 21. Gatorade doesn't need to be healthy. It's a mid-game drink. Lots of sugar and electrolytes are a godsend when you're thirsty at the end of a quarter. It's not made to drink leisurely every day. I drank lots of Gatorade in high school during basketball, volleyball, badminton, track meets, cross-country. And I still stayed in great shape. Not like extra sugar is gonna make you fat when you're playing 4 40-minute basketball games in one day. Gatorade isn't some healthy alternative to anything. It's not marketed to be healthy. It's for athletes to replenish fluids. Unless it causes cancer somehow, then there's an argument to be made.